Matty Palooza New York Comic Con. I'm so glad to be back. I know I haven't been here in 2 years. It's a tough time. Mattel actually has its major retail show this week, so getting us out here was a little tough. We wanted to be out here. We're so glad. Wow. I mean, there are no fans like He-Man fans. I will tell you that right now. Shira fans. We have a really cool panel for you. Hopefully we'll leave a lot of time for Q&A. Due to the He-Man convention PowerCon that was a few weeks ago, we don't have as much to reveal because we revealed so many figures. In fact, the figures we're going to reveal today were literally finished like yesterday. Wow. Right off their desk. So I saw them for the first time when Eric brought them to the booth. So you're literally world premiere right here. Yeah, don't touch them. My name is Scott Knightlick, aka Toy Guru on the boards. I have the esteemed pleasure of being the brand manager for Masters of the Universe. Huge passion project of mine. I'm thrilled that I cannot believe we're almost up to 100 figures in the classic side. It's crazy. This is going to be the largest, biggest Masters of the Universe line ever. We're going to overtake every line. Even they've already overtaken vintage. Wow. Anyone know how many vintage figures there were in the 82 line?
It was a lot. More than on my hands.
More than his hands, all right. Why don't we introduce ourselves?
I'm Chris. I'm Eric. We're both from Four Horsemen.
I'm a copywriter at MATTEL.
Mary works on the Masters line. She helps works on the bios, works on the Wind Rider packaging. There's a lot of writing that's done on the line. All right. Why don't we jump into the panel and then we'll hopefully do an extensive Q&A. I'm going to go through the first slides relatively quickly. It's going to be a little bit of a repeat of what we did at PowerCon, just simply because so much was revealed there, but I'll try to get through that stuff quicker to get to the new stuff. All right, we're in New York. So first up, wrapping up 2011, of course, we have the final DCU versus MOTUC 2-packs. So these are in stores now, or at least we've shipped them to Toys R Us. Whether they put them on shelf is up to them. It pairs figures from DC versus Masters. We've got the Green Lantern versus Zodak pack and the Supergirl versus Shira. Have you guys, anyone found them yet?
No.
All right.
That's where they hide them.
They hide them? Well, all right.
Shop all the way in the back.
They're still shipping, so they are coming out. They may wind up going over to 2012. All right, so October, meaning Monday, on sale is Aquarius. And there's the Galactic Protectors logo that was created for him. And of course, as we answered it back in San Diego with the whole, is he Aquarius or Flipshot? The original character was Flipshot. It was, but he was also known as Aquarius in Europe. When we looked at the original style guide, he actually was called Aquarius. We found out they changed his name because Flipshot didn't translate as well, and it sounded more toyetic. So we went with that name, and also because Nerf owns Flipshot. In November, we'll be Snout Spout. I had not realized, I think until someone pointed out, I think on email.org, that the accessory is shaped like an elephant. I did not realize that. I wasn't out at my desk for like 2 months, and I never noticed that his jaws of life is actually kind of an elephant shape. That was really cool. CB did that, right? Yep. Also in November, for subscribers only, if you're a member of the club, you will get a sticker sheet. So hopefully that'll let you sticker some of the missed figures that didn't have stickers, as well as you could draft characters into different alliances if you want. Stick a Princess of Power sticker on He-Man if you want. Make Hordak a Snake Man. All right. In November, not part of the club, is the 2.0 Shira, Bubble Power Shira. So I think most of you probably know she can be reconfigured with the original Shira's head and cape, and the armor is removable. So you can have a Filmation Shira, you can have a classic toy tiara Shira. The idea is you can make any Shira you want now with these body parts. Feature, do you want to talk about the new bucket at all?
Sure. Yeah, what we basically did with this guy, or girl, figure actually, I guess. there have been a lot of suggestions ever since the first Shira was released. Certain things, like the original plan with her was that the dress was going to be made a soft enough material, and all the female figures for that matter, where they were going to get a full waist spin and ab crunch type movement. In the end, it didn't work out. The paint wouldn't stick to that soft of a material, and just a number of issues came up with it. And so for the longest time, we've been waiting to come back and create a new female buck where we can correct some of these issues. So this is the first figure that has the two-piece tunic, so it's full waist articulation. This figure in particular, she has slits in the dress and a more flared skirt so that she can ride Swiftwind. The figure's slightly shorter, because that was something that a lot of fans were asking for, was the figure to be a little bit shorter. And then this one also has the more toy-styled detail on the boots and the gauntlets. So, you know, a lot of fans have been asking for the more toy details on the Princess of Power figures, while others want more filmation, and this was a nice chance that we're able to do both. So, really just trying to, and also this one has the head without the tiara, with no hole in the head. So we were very happy to go back and
Which was not a
fix that.
slant against females, it was an aesthetic to get it.
Well, we thought we were doing the right thing and making it so the mask could be displayed in multiple positions. We were wrong. And so, you know, luckily we had a chance here to come back and fix that mistake. So, you know, we were very happy to get this one out, and then, you know, from here on out, the female figures will be able to incorporate this new buck system. So we're very excited about it.
Starting with the Star Sisters.
Yes.
Evil Lynn will still, the new Evil Lynn still uses the old buck.
Yes.
Yeah, because we tooled it for her. Okay. Alright, speaking of Swifty, so there's Swiftwind, also shipping the same day. So you can see there, so that the Shira riding Swiftwind is the bubble power Shira with the original Filmation head and cape on it. So you can see how well you can see it on the booth like that too. Alright, in December is Demo Man, based on the original long-tail illustration. Has anyone noticed that we posed the figure in the booth exactly in that pose? It took like a lot of time trying to do that. It wasn't easy. Kept falling over. And he comes with the Alcala Skeletor head, and Skeletor will go on sale the same day. So if you want to buy another Skeletor to get the Skeletor body, you can buy an extra Skeletor, or pick him up from a dealer here at the show. Skeletor. Alright, there's Battleground Evil Lynn. We moved to December to help you guys out. She'll come with the two heads, the cape, and two different wand attachments. A glow-in-the-dark one and a purple one, and the knife. She'll have the knife in purple. Also in December is the Wind Raider. Everything you see here. With the stand, it rotates 360, it goes up and down. It's amazing. And all of the details inside the cockpit are all sculpted in. They're not stickers. So I know that's something you really wanted to do.
Yeah, and same thing with the details on the outside that were stickers on the original. Everything is dimensionally fabricated into the piece, and then has the full paint job with the fades and all of that. So it's really cool. So, you know, in 10 years, your stickers won't be peeling off of this.
And the fuel tanks have a pop-up little like maintenance hatch on both sides. So Man-at-Arms can fix everything.
And the winch works.
Oh, the winch, yes. It has the first action feature. It has a projectile, the hook. The hook? Shoots.
Anchor?
Anchor? The thing on the front. It shoots. It's tied to a string, and then you can wind it back up again. Alright, there's the packaging. That's the art that's on the package. Art by the original artist of the packaging art. Rudy did the art, so that was really cool. I'm sure eventually we'll issue it as a poster, but at least not for another year or so. Alright, 2012, which is the 30th anniversary. We're all going to celebrate. Some general updates. We did have that new 30th anniversary series, which we did offer as a sub. The sub is closed, but you can still buy them day of. the figures, when they're sold day of, if you didn't get them in the sub, there will be a slight price increase. It'll probably be, instead of 20, either $22 or $23 a figure. We're trying to keep it as low as possible. Essentially, it's a little hard to keep 2008 prices still. It's 2012 now. So we sort of skipped over 2 mandatory Mattel price increases in the last few years, and it's kind of come time that we in order to keep up with Chinese labor, we have to raise costs. The subscription, so if you ordered in the sub, you are locked into that $20 a figure. We are looking into ways of combining day of purchases with sub purchases. So if you have a sub and you want to add extra figures, whether it's a MOTUC figure or a Ghostbusters or a Voltron or anything, ideally, if we get the set, you'll be able to add subscribers will be able to add anything they want into their basket to save on shipping. As well as, we know international customers have asked us for ways of not combining shipping. So we're going to try to offer everything possible under the sun here. And in general, we are very, very committed to improving shipping and customer service. We know about the issues with Digital River, we know about the issues with customer service and shipping prices. Our commitment is to find ways to bring shipping costs down and improve customer service in the next 6 months. It's our #1 goal with this. We hear you, we're working on it, I promise. Top men are on this, and women. All right, a reminder of the club rollout. There'll be 12 monthly figures, 4 quarterly variants, i.e. a Battle Armor He-Man, 4 oversized and or multi-packs, 1 at 30, 2 at 40, 1 at 60. The Star Sisters are the $60 slot. The Griffin is the $30 slot. So if you've done your math, that means there's 2 $40 slots left for the year. 1 club exclusive figure, which is Shadow Weaver. 1 exclusive map. The club does not include convention items, potential vehicles, potential weapon packs, other standalone items, and the 30th anniversary figures. And the reason for that, a lot of people ask why everything can't be in the sub, is essentially, legally, we have to be upfront with everything that's included in the sub, and the prices, which is what we just did. We want to have the freedom to grow the brand. We want to be able to try new things out, like Granomir and the Windbreaker. That's why not everything is included in the sub, because we originally thought the Windbreaker was going to be $40. It turned out after we painted it and tooled it, it was going to need to be $45. That's why it couldn't be in the sub. We need that creative freedom in order to deliver more stuff to you guys. So that's sort of the rationale there. The 30th Anniversary Club, so we announced as a Comic-Con, this is 6 all-new Masters of the Universe figures. Brand new characters created just for this line. 1 every other month throughout 2012. They will be available as an add-on sub or day of sales. The sub is now closed, so day of sales only if you didn't buy the sub. The day of sales will also be higher, either $22 or $23. We'll lock that down probably in about the next 30 days. Subscribers, though, are locked into that $20 per figure 2008 price. Fearless Photog is the first one. And then we have Drago Man from the 4 Horsemen. There'll be a figure that Jeff Johns will be creating from DC Comics. And there'll be 2 figures that Mattel will create. And then the final one will be the new 30th anniversary winner. We'll get into that at the end if you haven't heard about our new contest, which is amazing. All right, January, we've got the Sorceress. Long time coming. I know we killed her in the bios before she came out, but she'll always be around. So the wing articulation, it is attached just at the shoulder, so just full arm articulation. Terry Iguchi, who's our designer, the horseman sculpted, but it's Terry who has to take their sculpt and turn it into a working toy, which is not as easy as it sounds. But he found an amazing way to get the wings so when you raise her arms up manually, the wings sort of just kind of magically fold out. So it's really, really nice. And she has full articulation there. There won't be any limit because of the wings. Also in January, there's Fearless Photog. And Terry also was able to get the chest emblem is going to be a lenticular. So that little guy on his chest is going to run as you kind of move him around. So we're still working on that. It'll look really neat. And there's this camera gun that CB did. So he'll be the first of the 30th anniversaries. Also in January is the Star Sisters. Yeah! So you've seen them in our booth. They also come with Glory Bird, and Tall Star has extra parts that you can put into her legs, her arm, and her neck to simulate the original action feature, the growing feature. And I believe, I haven't fully confirmed it with Terry, but if you were hypothetically to buy multiple Star Sister packs, you could stack up multiple tall star pieces to really make her long and long legs and long neck. So I believe it's going to be a universal piece. He's still working on that. That's the goal. In February, the lone February figure will be this guy. It still has the ab articulation, but the chest armor covers it, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically on this guy, it was tough to do anything where we cut the armor short. So it's just a decision here to maintain the look of the original, and I'm not sure if it's going to be made in ABS or PVC. If it's in PVC, you'll still be able to get a certain amount. Even if it's in a hard plastic, you can get a backwards bend on it. It's just a matter of how much you'll get out of a forward bend.
Yep. So he'll come with the purple Triclops sword. He'll come with, there's the back handle. He will come with an alternate head that includes the headpiece that was in 2000X, but it's the same face. It's not a 2000X face. It's a 2000X armor piece on the vintage head. And it will come with that sword we've been waiting to release since 2003. It'll be packed out similar to Grizzlor with the belt off and the original head. So those of you who want to have him pose and package like the vintage, that's how he'll be packed out. In March will be Cobra Khan. Yeah! He'll have his gun. He'll have his alternate head with the fins. Not fins.
Yeah, that is the fin.
Flap out, hood out, Cobra hood.
Yes.
And he'll have his little buddy. Have we come up with a name for him yet? I don't know. Khan Jr. All right. Kobe? There we go. We just named it. All right. Named after basketball. All right. March 2012. You're gonna get Drago Man. Now, originally, yes, we did show him with quite a few accessories, but we found when we tooled him, there's so much plastic in both the wings and the tail, and so much deco that we had to scale him down a little bit. So he's only going to have the flaming sword, which is actually not shown here, but it's in the booth. We are going to try to find a way to have the flaming whip and the shield with some future figure. We haven't figured that out yet, but we want to do it right as the Horseman designed. We couldn't afford it. It wasn't going to work. But this is what happens when I say design any figure you want. You give me this giant guy with huge wings that we can't afford. So that's why he'll have a few less accessories. But we're going to do it right. We'll find a way to release those down the road. Also in March is Thunder Punch He-Man. So he'll have that punching effect, it's a snap-on effect. He'll have a brand new closed fist hand. He will have the shield that will have the cap, if you will. It's not a working cap, but it looks like a cap, and it will come out of the shield, and then you can plug it into the backpack, correct? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the backpack is hinged exactly the same as the original.
Well, it is not actually a cap.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
Simulated cap.
But you can use it like as a discus or something and throw it. So pop someone over the head with it. Cool. And we are, I believe, going to vac metalize the shield. I think Terry's looking into that. Not confirmed, but he's working on it. All right, the subscription figure, Shadow Weaver there. She'll come with her wand, her book, and the stand to simulate the floating effect. Anything you want to say on Shadow Weaver?
I'm a big fan of Shadow Weaver.
I actually meant Eric. I'm glad you did.
I mean, it's not too much to say. We were just thrilled to finally get to her. She's a great character, so long overdue.
Long overdue, essential. We're really glad we got that Classic Media decided to license these guys out finally. Yeah, we were like, well, we'll take the license to that. All right. The subscription map is Preturnia, so that will ship only for subscribers, just like Shadow Weaver, in the box, just like the previous two maps, with a new bio on the back, filling in some more of the lore. In April, you'll get Stinkor. I don't have, there's more of him in the booth than there is pictures here, but the tanks are removable. He has swappable heads, so he has the merman head, just like the vintage figure, and then a more Stinkor-esque head that
Does he smell?
He will smell, yes. He will smell. The way we do that is he's going to smell like patchouli, just like the original. What they do, the process is they mix the patchouli scent with the plastic when it's in liquid form. That's the same way we did Moss Man. So yes, he will smell. He'll have the shield, he'll have the gun, he'll have a removable gas mask, and then the little dial that you see there on his, like I guess by his neck, that little piece is removable, similar to bow, and it's swappable, so you can have either the, I guess the dial or just the red dot, like the vintage figure. So that's, you'll see that in the booth. You'll see those two little pieces. That's what those are. They're swappable. So you could display them either way. All right. Next is the Griffin. And the $30 piece. And do you want to talk about the wings a little bit on this one?
Yeah.
Color.
As soon as the convention's over, we're taking this back and changing the wing color on this. We've been checking the forums. There's been a lot of requests to make the wing color more integrated with the rest of the figure. So we've been looking at some Photoshop manipulations that fans have been doing on boards. And luckily the timing's been good on this, where we can actually go back and do some revisions. So by the end of the week, this guy should have a brand new paint job.
So there you go.
Awesome.
Fan comments in action. Hopefully, as soon as we have an image, we'll share it. Probably on Maddie Collecting, the news story. All right, who's next? Non-club. Oh, the stands, right? Yes, the Snake Mountain stands will go to sale in April. So that'll be very similar to the Gray Skull stands that we did 2 years ago. 5 in a pack. That little stalagmite or stalactite, which is the one? Removable, so you can move that around, just like the Gray Skull. All right. In May, we got Slush Head. And I believe the way we're starting this putting them together is that the headpiece, you can fill it with water, I guess upside down, and then put them in and then turn them right side up and the water will stay. So if you want to add water yourself, you can have water in that bubble. I think the vintage figure did have water, so we couldn't ship them with water for CPI reasons, but you can add water yourself. Water not included, yes. We're not shipping you Chinese water. I can just see them like at the tap in China in the background. All right, from the Yangtze River. Okay. Mighty Spectre, the next Club Preturnia. My contribution line. He does have the whip and the knife that they literally just finished the other day. That's on display in the booth. So the whip's not in the picture here, but the whip or the knife snap into the little cosmic key device. He's the heroic master of time travel. He's kind of like the time-traveling super spy that helps out the royal family. You'll learn more in his bio. All right. Throughout 2012, as shown at PowerCon, is the Temple of Darkness Sorceress. So she will be available at all regional U.S. shows, including, ideally, if we're at New York Comic Con next year. I can't imagine we won't be. She'll be on sale here, as well as any other. We don't know all the regional shows we're going to go to. We're also going to work with some of the German fan sites to get them some product to sell at the German conventions as well. But you will not be at San Diego Comic Con. So, but you're here in New York, so So, and she'll come with the orb holder. She will not come with the orb. The orb came with King Grayskull. I know people were asking if she could also come with the orb, but kind of the whole point was to reward fans who bought King Grayskull and have this marble on their desk. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's what, there it is. Okay, came up. Yeah, so there's the orb in the orb holder. All right, June. Presentation's over. June 2012, the next figure, our next A-list variant, Snake Man at Arms. So he's the one that comes in that serpent ring you saw. Now, we very deliberately we're going to do him in a paint scheme. The paint is actually not finished on this figure, but we're going to paint him up in 2000X colors, so that if you wanted to swap the heads with the original Man at Arms, now you have a 2000X color. That was your intention, right? I don't want to...
Right. Yeah. It just makes this guy even a little more special. So, say you're not necessarily that interested in the snake version of this guy, but you want a 2002 version, then there you go. A little head swap and you're set.
Yeah, that's why we made the heads removable from day one, anticipating stuff like this.
And just another little note, one thing that's been upgraded here is for PowerCon, we just did a quick mock-up of the snake ring, and this is actually the final version of the snake ring. The first one was just a smooth piece of clay wrapped around the ring, just so we could do a little teaser, but this is the final one with all kinds of little scale detail and that sort of good stuff.
And I think we're looking at possibly doing it in die cast. So I don't know. We're still looking into the cost, but we want to try to plus them up a little bit. So nope, it's not before the rumors start. So we're working again. It's something Terry's looking into, and we're going to cost it out. But we want to see if we can make that ring a little special. All right, this one I'm really excited about. The June monthly figure. Ready? Who is that? But you never actually saw him. Now you want to talk about that helmet a little bit?
Well, we saw the hand.
Well, we did see his face at the other episode.
Get to that in one moment. Let's talk about the helmet first.
So, oh man, this guy, there's so much to this figure, but the approach that we ended up taking with this, because there's been little glimpses of the character, there's the UK comics version of the character. I'm sure that every fan has his or her own idea of what the character looks like. So we tried to take as much into consideration as we could here. And essentially what we did is we looked at that smoky image that you could see on the screen, and we tried to take the shapes that were going on in that. I mean, of course, Horde Prime in the cartoon was probably, a 50-foot tall monolith. But we try to take some of those shapes and those designs and that color scheme and take it and apply it to a Masters Classics figure. And so you're seeing the figure fully helmeted up here. The helmet is removable.
Let's take a look at what it looks like without his helmet, shall we? Everyone want to finally see Horde Prime?
Yes.
You will not see his face until you buy the toy. And I will be taking that out of the samples that we mail out. It is a secret head accessory. But he will come with a second head, which we'll show you. So we are going to include the comic head from the UK comics. But his more traditional head is still under wraps. And he'll have swappable hands there. And
yeah, this time the crossbow is actually a hand attachment as opposed to a handheld weapon. Other than that, we just tried to make a really imposing looking Supreme Overlord for the Horde.
So there you go, there's Horde Prime. Alright, a couple other quick updates before we get to Q&A. For those of you who don't know about the Create a Character contest, this is a new contest going on right now through December 31st. For US residents only due to legal restrictions. The complete rules are on Matty Collector. All entries do remain property of Mattel. So if you have a character you designed as a kid and you want to do him as a comic book or a movie one day, don't send him to us because we're going to own him. Entries are only on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Anything else is disqualified. But any medium is okay. Crayons, CGI, you can actually make models, but they have to be on a piece of paper. Don't send in an actual model, no exceptions. The rules, you must use basic shared parts. We're looking for a 6-inch figure, not a beast or a giant. New heads, capes, weapons, gloves, anything is cool. No 100% sculpt. So we're not looking for like a Ram Man or a Rock-On or those kind of figures. It's got to be somebody who uses basic parts. Must be an original creation, so don't send in Batman or Spider-Man. It must feel like a MOTUC character. So the judges, when they're looking at these, they want to look at a figure that feels like he works into the MOTUC world. Must easily translate into a toy. Don't send us something that's got all these crazy wires and weird articulation that would just take so much, crazy logistics to work. Mattel does retain the rights to choose the final name and bio, but we're obviously going to consult the winner and hopefully use their name and any bio ideas, but if we have to alter it, we will. You can enter as many times as you like. They will be judged by a cross-functional members of the MOTUC team. Mary and I believe, are both judges, as well as 6 other individuals from the team. The winner will be announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. The winning figure will be available, ideally on Natty Collector in December 2012 as the final figure in the 30th line. The winning fan will receive 24 samples of their figure and bragging rights. And the winner and 5 runner-ups will also receive a 1-year subscription to the 2013 line. Just some examples of what I mean by shared parts. When we're talking about robot legs and beast legs and lizard legs and female parts and jetpacks, you can use any parts from any character, but you can also create your own parts too. You don't just have to be restricted to existing parts. You just need to use basic shared parts in your design. All right, other events for 2012. We're going to have a huge San Diego Comic-Con costume contest. I know you'll be entering there. There's a lack of Masters of the Universe costumes here. I see, we have one awesome person in the audience, but looking around, we want to take over Comic-Con for the 30th. So we're going to have a huge costume contest with prizes, amazing prizes. Best, most elaborate, most original. I want to take back Comic-Con from Slave Leia. I want Battleground Evil all over the place. So I want legions of females coming back. No more Slave Leias as the Comic-Con female. Extra points for anyone who comes to the 30th anniversary figure. And we will reveal more 30th anniversary figures before the show, so you can start working on your costumes now. We are going to do a 2013 Fans Choice figure with the slots announced at New York. I'm sorry, that should be San Diego Comic-Con. That's a misprint. It should be SDCC. Well, if it was New York, it'd be too late. You don't want it earlier in the year? You want us to wait for New York? There's going to be the slots that we're going to have. 6 of them are going to be picked by Mattel, and we're going to let 1 slot be picked by He-Man.org and 1 from He-Man.de in Germany. So that's the biggest U.S. and the biggest German He-Man fan sites. We are not going to load up the 6 slots with someone obvious. We're gonna be picking characters that fans have been asking for on the boards that aren't necessarily slotted in anytime soon, but people keep asking for. So we'll work with the webmasters of both of those sites and to come up with their submissions by about December, January, and then we'll add them in and we'll announce all 8 in San Diego, and everyone who buys a subscription for 2013 will be allowed to vote. You can only vote if you buy a subscription for 2013. You'll be given a code. So there you go. And there's going to be a slew of licensed merchandise from Classic Media. We are talking Halloween costumes, beach towels, art prints, DVDs, lots and lots of merchandise Classic Media is going to be merchandising out in 2012. With more surprises at New York Toy Fair in February. We'll have a lot to announce as we get closer to 2012 for the 30th anniversary. And then a little sneak peek at the new toys. All right. So that's it. There's New York Comic Con's Matty Palooza. So.